So for a while now, a lot of schools across the US have actually started giving their students official laptops provided by the school district. Usually Chromebooks, because it's basically exactly what these little things were built for, and it was going pretty well for a while until, of course, a new TikTok trend came along. And the whole point of this new trend is just to light your Chromebook on fire.
Ooh.
What just happened?
What did you do?
Bro, I didn't touch it.
Gio, what did...
What the heck just happened?
Oh, hell.
You know, every single day I get more and more thankful that I'm not in school anymore. Now, I always clarify, we've had dumb social media challenges before TikTok, and I still stand by that, but I also 100% believe that this app, for some reason, breeds the most destructive challenges. And by the way, I know sometimes there will be like 4 people on TikTok that do something, and then news outlets will pick it up and say, "This is a trend that's sweeping the nation." This is not one of those situations, okay? There are multiple schools across the country that have had to deal with an absurd amount of incidents since this thing started. Only like, what, about a week ago, maybe a couple? Actually, Good Morning America actually did a story on this, and they said that the Colorado Springs Fire Department said they had to deal with more than 30 incidents of this in just the last few weeks.
Schools and fire officials across the country are sounding the alarm over videos like these, all part of a social media Chromebook challenge where students are putting objects in the charging ports of their devices in an effort to spark a fire. The Colorado Springs Fire Department seeing more than 30 incidents just in the last few weeks.
Guys, could you not just go to like coolmathgames.com and play some stuff on there? Why do you have to light stuff on fire? Hey, you're filming your escapades already. You're already on your phone in class. Just play a game on your phone. And now the incidents do vary in severity a lot. A lot of the times kids just try to get a little bit of smoke, a little bit of sparks. You know, ideally there would be 0, but you know, only a little bit of damage gets caused, and other times it just looks like somebody wheeled in a mountain of dry ice. It looks like a smoke grenade went off. You know, this one happened in what appears to be a science lab, so this room is built to handle, you know, a couple hazardous chemicals being spilled here and there. But can you imagine if they did this in one of the rooms that has a carpet floor? I mean, it's probably already happened somewhere and I just don't know about it. And speaking of hazardous chemicals, as you could probably guess, the smoke coming from these things, we aren't exactly working with some Lush Ice vape cartridges here. I assume if you just put your nose over this stuff, that's like insta-cancer. So now on top of some rando just trying to make a bomb out of a perfectly good laptop, but now they have to evacuate the building so that they can make room for not only the fire department, but the hazmat crew.
I don't wanna be alive. I don't wanna be alive. I just wanna die today. I just wanna die.
Okay guys, listen, if you are looking to skip school and for some reason you don't just want to ditch, you just want to evacuate the entire building, go big or go home, I guess, don't do that ever, please. But if you are going to, could you not just make a stink bomb like a normal person? You know, a while back a couple kids got in legal trouble because as a prank they decided to get some of that liquid ass spray and spray it into the HVAC unit of the school, and the entire school had to be evacuated. You know, as dumb of an idea as that was, at least liquid ass spray, for the most part, I assume is safe to inhale and has very little chance of causing a fire. Now, as you might have guessed, the kids who are doing this with the Chromebooks are now starting to face legal repercussions as well. In Belleville, New Jersey, a 15-year-old decided to try and light his Chromebook on fire by sticking a gum wrapper in the USB port. Which, by the way, I found this YouTube channel, I'll put it on the screen right now. They have a video talking about this where they pinned a comment from some guy saying this should not even be possible on most laptops. It's just that these Chromebooks are made so cheaply and poorly. That's the reason you're able to start fires with them so easily, which I am 100% willing to believe is the case, but also don't intentionally try to set fire to your Chromebook. Like, I've had one that I've had to crack open to mod. I had to disconnect the battery and do all sorts of stuff. This thing is pretty beat up, honestly. Actually, I recorded a lot of the vids on this thing, and in all the years I've had it, I've never gotten even the faintest scent of smoke from it, so, you know, I feel like personal responsibility is just as much to blame here. Anyways, back on topic, so this kid lit his Chromebook up like the 4th of July and he actually got charged for it. By the way, there's a weird discrepancy in the story. This station said it was pencil lead that he stuck in there. Another station said it was the gum wrapper. It doesn't really matter, honestly.
Well, Liz and David, the Belleville fire captain and chief actually showed us that laptop that went up in smoke yesterday. It has been in a bucket with water for 24 hours, and you can still smell that strong burnt smell. So you can only imagine what it smelled like in that classroom as it was actively smoking. And fire officials say if it isn't treated properly, the risk for fire can continue long after the smoke has died down. It's a new trend on TikTok, sticking metal objects into the ports of Chromebooks, causing them to start smoking. Belleville police are using this video that was posted online as a part of their investigation into what happened at Belleville High School.
There's no fun to this. It's all dangerous.
First responders were called out to the school around 9:15 Thursday morning to find smoke coming out of a Chromebook. Another video that's being used in the investigation shows the scene inside the classroom. Students and teachers had to evacuate the building.
I was pretty mad actually because I was taking the AP stats test and it got canceled because of it. I have to wait 2 weeks now to retake it.
Dude, I feel so bad for this guy. Can you imagine if he was like 10 questions away from the end? He was in the home stretch and then you just hear the fire alarm go off and he's like, no, my work, no. I hope he passed once he had to retake it. So MacGyver here is getting accused of criminal mischief and third-degree arson. Now he is only 15, so I think he has a fighting chance of getting off relatively easily. You know, he might just have to do some community service and not have to do a stint in juvie. So yeah, here's hoping he gets just enough punishment to never want to do this again. I feel like this is going to be one of those things where the judges and the officials are going to get so many calls about incidents like these. They're just going to get so tired of seeing this stuff that they're not just going to throw the book at these kids. They're going to like 360 no-scope it straight into their face. Like in that Good Mythical... Oh, gosh! What? Good Morning America report that I played just now, the anchor mentioned one kid even got hospitalized because of this thing. I looked it up. It's not just one kid. All I did was search up hospitalized Chromebook and I found like 5 separate incidents of people getting sent to the hospital because some kid wanted to blow up a Chromebook for views. And it wasn't just the perpetrators that were getting sent to the hospital. Apparently a bunch of teachers were getting sent there too because of the injuries that they faced because somebody did this. You know, I'm honestly surprised there haven't been more explosions. I found this one YouTube channel. He goes by Arctic Fox. He found a video of some dude just impaling the Chromebook with scissors trying to start a fire. I don't even have words for this one, man. This poor Chromebook did not have to die this way. And also, I guarantee you this isn't the only incident of its kind. Place your bets, y'all. I think by the end of next month, we're gonna hear a story about a school where it looks like a meteor hit the classroom, all because some kid decided to impale his Chromebook with some tools he stole from the woodshop class. I even saw a few people on TikTok creating their own special contraptions specifically designed to damage the Chromebooks. Found one guy who basically tore apart a calculator to create this abomination. And speaking of calculators, apparently if you go into Desmos, which is basically an online graphing calculator, and then you type in a Tekken 10 hit combo or something, it seems like you can actually brick the Chromebook via software that way. Honestly, it's less bricking it and more just making it so if you want to get the Chromebook back to a usable state, you have to jump through all sorts of hoops and the steps you may or may not know what the person even did. So you would end up having to like reverse engineer whatever this person did to your poor computer. So a bunch of kids are doing that. You know, at least that way, you could probably fix the Chromebook by just reinstalling the operating system, and you don't have to work with what's basically a live grenade. You know, a really popular audio going along with the vids of this stuff is talking about how the F students are the inventors, they're the most creative of the bunch.
Doesn't know how to do it. And then you got the F students. The F students are inventors. They're so fucking creative that they couldn't sit in class. Because whatever people were trying to put in their head, they knew it was fucking bullshit.
I'll give him this Desmos Mortal Kombat fatality seems to have actually taken some thought to come up with. You see, this is the importance of introducing your kids to a healthy creative outlet. Like, there are so many options: writing, making music, drawing. You know, you're in school, you probably already have some pencil and paper right there. You know, there are a lot better things to be creative for than trying to make an actual toxic bomb out of your laptop. Alright, now we're gonna throw it back a bit. I'm sure you all remember the devious licks, right? How you would steal from your school, and if you didn't steal, you would just try to break as many things as possible.
What the fuck is going on, bro? Look at this shit.
I'm just trying to take a piss.
Look, bro. Oh my fuck, bro. These fucking kids are ruthless.
Well, believe it or not, a similar thing has actually happened here, where if you didn't want to light your Chromebook on fire, you would just try to destroy it in other ways. You know, just stuff like throwing it against the bathroom floor, prying the housing apart, straight up stabbing the screen with knives.
But then you got the D. D is between a business owner and an inventor. It's someone that owns a business but truly wants to invent something, he just doesn't know how to do it. And then you got the F students. The F students are inventors. They're creators. They're so fucking creative that they couldn't sit in class. They couldn't listen because whatever people were trying to put in their head, they knew it was fucking bullshit. So if you're a young boy and you're in a situation where
You know, I am really glad that all of the kids doing this stuff are posting it online, because I feel like it's so much easier nowadays to know who to never trust with your personal belongings. Like, they always out themselves of their own accord just because they're so tantalized by the views. I am so thankful I don't have to worry about lending my computers out to friends. If I lent my computer to someone and then they did this to it, or better yet, their own Chromebook blew up and then I had to go to the hospital because I got like shrapnel in 9 different areas of my body just because they wanted TikTok views, I am going on a warpath. By the way, I wasn't kidding about the whole stabbing the screen thing. Just look at this picture on screen. If anything, I undersold it. This man stabbed a phone, picked up the knife which still had the phone impaled on it, and then stabbed the screen with it. This one feels like it was for a little more than TikTok views. I feel like this guy sent this image to Google to get ransom money or something. Also, I may or may not have eclipsed the drawings that he put on this thing. They're both of giant dongs, one with a very hairy scrot and the other one curved like some sort of tentacle. This one feels personal, honestly. I feel like this image was born out of like actual hatred. You know, when my school handed out Chromebooks, we had to pay for them, but also after we graduated, we got to keep the laptops. I wonder how many kids in these videos have something similar going on at their schools. Because if that's the case, I feel like they're just shooting themselves in the foot. They're depriving themselves of a perfectly good laptop. I mean, it's a Chromebook, so, you know, it's not like a super high-powered machine, but it's very usable. Oh, and speaking of shooting, I have not found anybody who's straight up taken a Glock to the Chromebook yet, but I have found somebody who shot it with a bow and arrow. Okay, I know I'm supposed to be making fun of the kid for destroying the Chromebook needlessly, but can we just address the elephant in the room? Why is this shot like a snuff film? Like, it's really dark, they're in the middle of who knows where, they're busting out different tools for variety, the camera's barely in focus, you can't see the dude's face. Straight up, this is textbook snuff film cinematography. I feel like we need to get the feds to check this dude's hard drive. So I found a TikTok that I think sums up this whole situation pretty well. I'm gonna read the text on screen for you. Yo, the superintendent had to beg us to not commit arson because it's only Thursday and 17 kids are already suspended because of the Chromebook challenge. One kid shoved graphite in a charging port, it started smoking, he panicked and poured his entire Gatorade on it. It sparked and started smoking, and then 3 periods later, he tried to redeem himself by pouring hot glue into his charging port. He's in ISS. So yeah, stay safe out there, gang, and make sure you know where the fire extinguishers are. I feel like they're gonna come in handy.